our attention to the weather. Can you kind of walk us through the four seasons? I know you guys do get some snow. I know it can get pretty hot in the summertime, but can you kind of walk us through the four seasons in Reno?
Yeah, the seasons are great. I love them. The best time I think is between summer and fall. It's like the best golfing time, the best outdoor time. It's absolutely perfect. But for the rest of the year, it's gorgeous too. We have a beautiful winter. Right, Reno's very close to Tahoe, and so we kind of wrap ourselves around the Tahoe Basin. And we have just right up the hill, maybe 30, 45 minutes away, depending on which ski resort you go to. We have world-renowned skiing up here. And so we have Squaw, North Star, Alpine, Mount Rose. There's a ton of them just around the little area that we play in Truckee and Tahoe. Truckee, like I said, is 30 minutes away. There's tons of snowshoeing, there's hiking, so the winter sports are pretty much covered. Fall is beautiful. We have a ton of trees and with the orange and the browns and the yellows. And then spring is very beautiful as well. Everything's coming back to life. But the summertime, we also shine as well because we have Lake Tahoe, we have Truckee Meadow, or we have Truckee River. And you can go rafting on the river, you can go floating on the river, you can do a ton of different water sports, obviously on Lake Tahoe. So there's many beaches up there. We shine in all areas. So it's pretty good area. Our winters are, maybe we have some cold days, like super cold days, maybe below zero, maybe a couple times a year. Other than that, we maintain probably about in the 30 degrees, somewhere around there. Summertime, we maintain high 80s, low 90s. There are although this summer and the last 2 summers, we haven't seen 100. So we're maintaining high 80s, low 90s. So it's pretty comfortable outside. And it's a drier heat, so we're not you don't feel it as much. If you get in the shade and you have a nice breeze, you're gonna cool right down.
It sounds like I hit 100 more here in the East Bay than you do in Reno, which really surprises me.
My husband is born and raised in Los Gatos, so when he's down there, he's usually complaining about something weather related, and he's seen excessive heat this year as well.
Let's turn our attention to the cost of living. It's really the #1 factor people quote as the reason they want to leave, ahead of politics even. So let's turn our attention to the cost of living. Tell us about things like, we've touched upon housing costs, but maybe energy costs, your gasoline, electricity, things like that. What are those, how are those compared to California?
Oh gosh, I don't remember my utility bills in California, but I think they are just like my bill here. It's about $100 a month. And that's with running things. So that's not too bad. It's a big push for solar out here. That takes the cost down to basically nothing. And there's a lot of programs for you to utilize solar. Let's see, our water bills, very cheap. Barely nothing, like $30 a month with that. That's also running, that's during the summer months as well. So our utilities are pretty low compared to everything else, minus cable. Cable everywhere seems like to be the highest.
Well, let me just go back to electricity for a minute. So I live here in Northern California. I run my air conditioner maybe 5 days a month for 5 hours at a time, and my power bill is $250 to $300 a month. So are you running your air conditioner? I mean, I don't know. I live in a 2,500 square foot house. It's nothing that big, but do you run your air conditioner a decent amount, I assume?
We don't have to, just because it's not as hot. But I say we run it probably about as much as you do. And my bill in the summer months, it's about $150.
Amazing. And then how about fuel costs? Right now, let's see, my average around here is probably $3.20 a gallon. Do you know what you're paying for gas in your area?
$2.50.
$2.50. Okay. All right. Great. Well, let's turn our attention to like property taxes and things like that. Obviously, that's a big factor here too. Everybody brags about how we only have a 1 to 1.25% property tax. Mine's actually a higher percentage than that because of all the add-ons. But what are you paying for property taxes, say for a $400,000 house, new construction in Reno?
Maybe about 5 to 8,000 a year in property taxes. Not that.
So pretty much on par with California as far as the 1.25%.
It's a little bit lower.
Yes, it is a little cheaper. I went back and looked at the formulas so everyone could understand the property taxes in the Reno area. The county assessor calculates taxes based on 35% of the assessed value at a rate of 3.66%. So, a $400,000 house would be taxed at 35% of this value, which is $140,000. $140,000 taxed at 3.66% comes out to $5,124 annually, or $1,281 per quarter. Be sure and talk to your realtor about that and get clarification.
Yeah, so anybody who's able to now telecommute, they can move to Reno, live on their California income, and live significantly lower cost of living than they do here in California.
Totally. We have a great community right outside. It's between Reno, or it's the very beginning of Bird Eye, and it's not into the Valley of Bird Eye, but it's a brand new community, and there's a ton of people who are doing that. That they come over here, they get the Nevada residence, and they're almost like snowbirds. But they now the whole neighborhood is filled up for people because they don't have to live in the Bay Area. They can live in this beautiful, spacious, 3,000 plus, house that only costs them $600,000, and they can live here and have money in the bank. They've either sold their house, because they have a lot of California realtors who are in the Bay, and they're selling, and the ones that do come here, they kind of buy this massive house compared to their little 1,200 square foot house in San Jose, buy this beautiful house, have a beautiful office, work for Apple, and have the California income without the California taxes and prices.
That's a great gig if you can get it. Well, let's turn our attention to healthcare. I know here in the Bay Area, we've got world-class healthcare with our universities and other hospitals. Tell us about healthcare, like for someone who needs specialists or things like that in the Reno area.
If you need specialists, we are very well connected, but we have a very good hospital and healthcare system. We have St. Mary's here, renowned, and they're both very big and very knowledgeable. They have very good outsourcing potential. Unfortunately, I've had 2 people with cancer in my family, and they both have very good connections with the Mayo Clinic, with Stanford, Davis, people back east. So we can bring in a lot of people, and we can also send out people. We have no problem. We have ERs everywhere. Well, it's mainly because of top, but we have a lot of broken bones because of all the hiking and biking and people falling, breaking their arms and things like that. So we have great doctors at the UNR who that can basically set and fix. We have all those stuff to break a bone. We have all the doctors to help you there, right there on campus, in any hospital here in Reno. If you, like I said, if you need a specialist, we have amazing connections. So I don't really worry about anything that we don't have Kaiser here. And I know that's a big draw for a lot of Californians, but we do have very good healthcare here. Even down in Carson City, we have an amazing hospital down there. So we're pretty covered on that part as well.
And then a small percentage, or a decent percentage, I should say, of the group are looking to retire outside of California. Tell me about what life for retirees are. Are there retirement communities where people can play golf and ride their golf cart around? Are there communities like that in the Reno area?
Yes, one of the big ones is Del Webb, and that's out in Somerset. It's a big golf community out here. They have the country clubs, the clubhouse, the 55 and older actual clubhouse for themselves. Plus, we have Somerset also has another clubhouse for the general populations. And they both are can join the 18-hole Tom Kite golf course designed course. We also have a 9-hole par 3 course out here. There's plenty of stuff for the retirees to do. Somerset's very connected with a lot of the retirees through all the things they do through Del Webb, plus Somerset its own. The other master plan communities are the same way. And the ones that people that I've met who are the retirees that come and live here and who come from California, they're all pretty outdoorsy. They like to, there's a lot of walking trails here. So they can walk everywhere. There's a ton of golf courses, about 10 golf courses here in Reno Tahoe area. There's a lot of things, crafts that they enjoy, wine clubs. There's plenty of stuff for them to do. And I haven't seen one or heard from anybody any complaints. All it's been is positive from the people I know, because I do live in Somerset and Del Webb is right around the corner from me, just a couple roundabouts away. And there's not one complaint from anybody I've ever met. And I do a lot of book clubs with them and things like that. So everybody's very pleased with the retirement plans that we have.
And then I know regarding businesses, I know you actually have an organization, an economic organization there in Reno that does their best to attract businesses, not just from California, but from around the country and around the world. I know that Nevada is a very business-friendly state, but can you kind of speak to that about how they're actually looking to be business-friendly as opposed to here where it's anti-business? It's all about how much money can we take out of businesses through regulation, through penalties, things like that. Can you speak to the business environment there in Nevada?
Our business environment is very positive. Like I said, EDON is the company that you're speaking of, and they recruit, and they're out there constantly bringing in these big companies. We are a very business-friendly state. I think Northern Nevada is a little bit more business-friendly than the South. If you could divide Nevada, that'd be great, because it's almost like two different areas. Southern California, or Southern Nevada kind of brings us the whole Nevada population down and the stats down, as where Northern California is very positive, or not California, but Nevada is very positive on their growth, on how they attract people with bringing in big industrial parks. Like I said, we have the northern section of Reno that has a ton of growth out there. We're constantly interviewing. We don't just let pretty much anybody come here. There is like an interview process for them to go through. Are you going to be positive with the environment? Are you going to be positive in the community? We don't just want somebody here just to take advantage and not be a positive influence in the community. So we also look at that side too. Are you going to be a good company to have them? You have to show a whole circle of how you are going to run your business, from the personal side, meaning how you're going to take care of the environment and your employees, to the business side, how you're going to bring up the economy. So they do a pretty good job. EDON does a fabulous job in bringing people over and vetting them and for them to come.
For those wanting to move a business from California, EDON will actually assign someone to you to assist you with helping move that business and help you through all of the obstacles and all of the hurdles that it takes to move a business from California to Nevada. Is that right?
They do a great job there. I'm not one of theirs, but I'm also a relocation specialist, and I do help out a lot of these individuals who do come over because of a company or a startup that's coming over for a new job. So it's a pretty good partnership. They really take care of they want you to be happy here. They know where you're coming from, and they want you to enjoy Reno, the new Reno, not this old stigma of Reno. Big difference.
Well, let's turn our attention to politics. I mentioned that cost of living is the #1 factor that people mention as they're wanting to leave, but politics is #2, which also contributes to number one. Because of the politics, we have the highest cost of living in the country. So let's turn our attention to that. Can you speak a little bit about the freedoms you enjoy there, and also if you can maybe address things like gun rights? That's important to a lot of people. Vaccination rights is important. A lot of people, their children are allergic to vaccinations, but California is forcing them to vaccine anyway. Can you kind of speak to those kind of freedoms and anything else that comes to mind?
We don't force vaccinations down your throat. Like I said, if we could divide Southern from Northern, it'd be so great, because Northern Nevada is a more conservative community. We do have a liberal mayor, and she's more than likely on her way out because of things that she's tried to pull in her Californication here, which doesn't fare very well. And the mayor was the governor was basically voted in for because of Las Vegas. That wasn't our choice up here. So we are, like I said, a very more conservative area. We still have the right to carry and conceal arms, so we have no problem with that. You can carry your gun if you choose. Like I said, we're just more conservative. We don't really force anything down anybody's throats up here. We're trying our hardest to get Sispec out, because we know for our side he's very poisonous. Now I think Vegas is kind of picking up on that. So I think that a lot of people are waking up, so I feel that we're turning that corner of, we don't want to repeat maybe some of the East Coast big cities and California's big cities. We don't want to bring those issues to our state, and especially to Reno. It's a very cute, charming town that has a lot of positive growth, and we don't want to just ruin that because of somebody else's views on politics.
And finally, what is Reno's best kept secret? What would you call its best kept secret?
The golfing and the master plan communities, all the hiking and biking trails here. We have a lot of really cute downtown, midtown area. We've got a lot of eateries, bars. Hopefully when they open back up. Right now they're doing a lot of outdoor dining, as everybody else is. Just the charm of the environment. It's really pretty. Truckee River's got a huge pool. A lot of trails around, obviously, the Truckee. You can float the river, raft the river, or canoe the river. We have an actual canoe park in downtown Reno. So if you are a master canoeer and you want to go on the rapids, we have that section for you. We have a lot of beautiful parks here. And the ski resorts. You can just go right up the hill and you're in a world-renowned area, which is Lake Tahoe. It's the gem of the world. It's beautiful. It's very well kept up there. It's still that beautiful green blue. They monitor how many people can. They monitor the boats coming in and out, so you just can't take a California boat or boat from another lake and bring it there. The boat's going to be inspected. So they really preserve the community up there, as well as Reno. So we're pretty on it with the charm of keeping everything clean. We're a pretty spotless community.
That's a great point. And I just to mention that, I know you're close to Tahoe, but if you got in your car right now and drove up to North Shore, how far of a drive is that for you, and how long would it take to get there?
North Shore is about 40 minutes away.
And that's a whole different world. You're not in the desert anymore.
We're the high desert too. We're the high desert, which is completely separate from Las Vegas. Las Vegas is very low. We're almost like Arizona. We are high, so we're in the base of Sierra. So we have that's how we get the 4 seasons, because we're tucked up against the mountains. We have the rainstorms, we have snow, we have anything weather related, minus 20 or anything crazy like that. But it's a beautiful area. Actually, it really is. The weather is pretty charming up here. That's another hidden gem. And we're not that dry, super hot.
And you just brought that to mind too when you were mentioning the area. You've got a lot of great builders. You have pretty much all the big builders up there too, right? So you got Toll Brothers, which builds amazing homes. I love their homes. You've got all those builders up there too, don't you?
Toll Brothers, Lennar. Those are the two big ones right now. We have about 30 different builders out here. I can't name them all of them, but yes, there's a ton of them out here. There's a lot of small ones out here, and they really do build a charm as well. Another one, a great one is Monterey. They're doing Ranchera, which is another master plan community. They have 55 and older, as well as the new community is built around the old Terrace Ranch, and it's got the charm of the ranch. So it's an equestrian type style living. You can have your horse there, as well as they have a little city inside there. He's also, Monterey's also, it's building that, and also the new, we ripped down Plum Lane, and we're building a huge, like, Santana Road. If you're familiar with San Jose, they have that really pretty area with the apartments, the condos up top, and then all the shopping below. So it's that kind of, that's going in. We have a huge, right across the street, we also have Reno Public Market, which is all kind of like a Pike's Place in Seattle. There's all, not fish, obviously, but it's produce and home goods, and everything you want in a shopping, organic shopping community, mall style. It's not finished yet, so I can't really see completely how it's going to look, but that's what they're saying coming in, which is right across the street from Monterey and that whole master plan pseudo Santana Row area.
And I know you have a lot of Californians moving there, don't you?
We do. They're waiting. They're coming, and they're on the waiting list, waiting for all this stuff to be completed. And we have plenty of inventory right now as it is as well. So we're good. But we're in a very hot market right now. So as soon as things kind of pop up, they're pretty much gone within 4 to 6 weeks, if that.
Well, I'll post your contact information here at the end, but if someone wants to reach out to you and have more of a discussion and have you answer questions, what's the best way to connect with you?
Call or text. It's 775-287-8249, or shoot me an email. Thank God those emails are now come through on your phone, so you can figure out who's contacting you. But that's kpfinvestments@gmail.com.
Great. Well, Karen, anything else you'd like to add before we end our time together?
Not really. Just come over. If there's anything that, if you're skeptical about Reno, come over and I'd love to tour you around. I can point you in the right directions. I can send you links to any community you choose, schools. Just ask and I can provide it for you.
Sounds like pretty much anything anybody would want that they have here in California, they can get in Reno, it sounds like.
And with the ease of another community, without the traffic, without the high stress, without the kind of polluted air. It always smells fresh here. We don't get those sewer smells that you can get in the big cities. It's pretty good, pretty great.
Awesome. Well, Karen, it's been a pleasure. I know that you'll get some folks reaching out to you, and I look forward to continuing to work with you, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you for this. It's been great.